Join NFPA and fire departments across North America for Fire Prevention Week 2025. Charge into fire safety, lithium-ion batteries in your home. Most of the electronics we use every day, like phones, tablets, cordless vacuums, and power tools, are powered by lithium-ion batteries. In fact, almost everything that's rechargeable uses them. The problem is, if these batteries are overcharged or damaged, they can overheat, catch fire, or even explode. Here's how you can stay safe. Buy only listed products. Look for a safety certification mark from a nationally recognized testing lab on the packaging or the product. Only use the charger that came with your device or a charger approved by the manufacturer. Charge on a hard surface, never on your bed, couch, or under a pillow. And don't overcharge. Once it's at 100%, unplug it. When it's time to get rid of used batteries, don't throw them in the trash or regular recycling bins. They could start a fire. Instead, recycle them responsibly. Visit call2recycle.org to find a battery drop-off location near you. You can help make your home, your community, and the planet safer by recycling batteries the right way. Let's charge into fire safety together. For more fire safety tips, visit fpw.org.
The power and danger of lithium-ion batteries. It's a battle of power. Your phone, laptop, even your headphones, they all rely on one powerful invention, the lithium-ion battery. But this energy marvel has a fiery flaw. Back in the 1970s, scientists were trying to make batteries smaller, lighter, and longer lasting. One guy, Stanley Whittingham, had a brilliant idea for a new rechargeable battery. This idea ended up becoming a version of the lithium-ion batteries we use today. Fast forward to the early 1990s, and the first lithium-ion battery was launched. Boom! Technology is changed forever. Suddenly, cameras, laptops, and phones got way more powerful and way more portable. This is today's lithium-ion battery. But what's happening inside this tiny powerhouse? Inside, tiny lithium ions move back and forth, storing and releasing energy to power your devices. But there's a catch. If the battery gets too hot or too cold, gets damaged, or is poorly made, that's when things can go bad. The inside short circuit. The battery heats up like crazy, and suddenly you've got what's called thermal runaway. Translation? The battery basically freaks out and sometimes catches fire. It's like when a pot of water starts to boil and you can't turn the heat down. The energy keeps building up and the pot, or the battery, just can't handle it anymore. It starts to spill over, or in the case of the battery, it starts to overheat uncontrollably, which can end in a fire or explosion. The good news? Keeping your devices with these batteries safe is easy. Here's how. Charge on a hard, flat surface, not your bed or a couch. Always use the charger that came with your device, or one from the same company. Stay away from off-brand chargers. Too hot or too cold equals bad for batteries. Keep devices out of heat and cold. When it's fully charged, unplug. Lithium-ion batteries are awesome. They help power our favorite things. But with great power comes great responsibility. So let's be battery smart. Let's be fire safe. And let's charge into fire safety together.
One of the fastest growing trends in the United States and other parts of the world right now are electric bicycles and electric scooters, often shortened to e-bikes or e-scooters. Both of these devices are technically known as micromobility devices, and experts say the global micromobility market is poised to grow from a $40 billion industry today to a $215 billion industry by 2030. But did you know that fires involving the batteries that power e-bikes and e-scooters are a growing safety concern? Welcome to Learn Something New by NFPA Journal. E-bikes are far from a new technology. In fact, the very first electric bicycles emerged in the late 1800s. But it wasn't until the past several years that the design and sale of the devices became a viable business model. spurred mostly by a global push to reduce reliance on gas-powered combustion engines. Proponents of e-bikes say they're a cost-effective, eco-friendly way of getting around, especially in cities. It's been well documented that food delivery drivers in New York City, for instance, rely heavily on e-bikes to make a living. But there is a catch. In New York City alone, e-bikes and e-scooters have been blamed for hundreds of fires. Some of those fires fatal. Just this September, an 8-year-old girl died in a fire in Queens that was likely ignited by an e-bike battery. So why do these devices catch fire? Well, e-bikes and e-scooters often use lithium-ion batteries, the same type of battery that powers most electric vehicles. When lithium-ion batteries are damaged, a chemical process known as thermal runaway can occur. This means that the battery cells are quickly getting way hotter than they should. In this state, the batteries can be prone to off-gassing, fires, and even explosions. In the case of e-bikes and e-scooters, fires have also resulted from overcharging batteries, using the wrong charging equipment, and overloading electrical circuits by charging too many devices at once. So what's being done to address the problem? Well, different cities have taken different approaches to addressing the problem. Earlier this year, for example, the New York City Fire Code was amended to require enhanced fire protection measures, such as sprinklers and fire-rated doors, for areas where more than 5 e-bikes or e-scooters are being stored or charged. But experts doubt those requirements are being enforced. Pretty much any time a city moves towards stricter e-bike and e-scooter regulation, it causes backlash from those who rely on the devices to get around or even make a living. After officials in London announced an e-bike and e-scooter ban for the Palace of Westminster, they received backlash from bicycle advocacy groups and even members of parliament. In a February hearing, a politician who had previously commuted to work on an e-bike called the move an example of creeping managerial control and accused those who made the decision of misinterpreting the fire risks. Similarly, a proposal by the New York City Housing Authority to ban e-bikes and e-scooters altogether from all of New York City's public housing has been met with intense criticism. So how can people stay safe? Well, it's important to recognize that e-bikes and e-scooters do pose a fire safety risk. When shopping for one, look for products that comply with UL standards for electric micromobility devices, such as UL 2849. If you own one already, be smart about how you're charging it. Don't use charging equipment that didn't come with the device. Don't overcharge the device or device battery, or leave it plugged in overnight. Don't charge multiple devices at once from one outlet. And if you damage your bike or scooter or think it needs repairs, only get those done from a qualified professional. Thanks for watching. If you like these Learn Something New videos, please let us know by leaving us a positive comment and sharing them with your friends and colleagues. As always, be sure to subscribe to NFPA's YouTube channel for more content like this.
The purpose of this show reel is to provide some real-life examples of lithium battery fires and illustrate the different ways the fires present in the different devices. First, here are some examples of typical smaller device lithium battery fires which have been featured on YouTube and in the news. Mobile phone fires. A standard mobile phone comes with a built-in safety device which will usually switch it off at about 40 degrees centigrade. But if, for example, the phone was left in the sun on a car dashboard, it will continue to heat up until it catches a light. Mobile phones contain a small lithium battery, typically 60 watt-hours or less. E-cigarettes. These contain a cylindrical cell battery. There is virtually no warning. They almost seem to spontaneously ignite. This can be particularly dangerous when kept in a pocket. Power banks. These devices contain larger size cell batteries, typically 4 times 21/700s, which can charge a phone 3 or 4 times. That amount of stored energy can cause quite a significant fire if the power bank is in a bag or pocket. A lithium battery powering a laptop is usually between 60 and 100 watt-hours and is capable of spraying debris across the office, so is likely to set other areas of the room on fire too. Electric scooter fire. There is more warning with this as smoke is emitted first, but it still erupts into a fire quickly. The lithium battery is in region of 500 to 750 watt-hours. Electric scooters are now banned on TfL network due to fire risk and regular fire incidents which have taken place. E-bikes. These can have up to a kilowatt-hour lithium battery. Just like the e-scooter, the fire starts by emitting smoke first. Using a garden hose to spray the battery with water doesn't make any difference to the fire. It just keeps going.
Well, ABC 2 News is working for you right now. More kitchens catch on fire on Thanksgiving Day than any other day of the year.
But would you know what to do if it happened to you? Mark Clegg from our sister station in Kansas City shows us how it can only take just seconds.
It did it within minutes, because I know I wasn't gone but a second or two.
As she came close to the door, I did see the flame it just raised up.
It only takes seconds in the blink of an eye. Your kitchen stove can go from this to this. A massive fireball rolling through your home.
And I turned the stove on as low as I could in the back burner and turned it down to simmer.
And once the flames start, they can explode into a fireball if the wrong decision is made in those crucial seconds. That's what happened in Julia's case.
It kept flaming up very high. And as I kept walking out and he had the door open, I said, I can't. And I took it and I flipped it with the water and it went up all the way up to the ceiling.
The number one thing you don't want to do is what?
You don't want to move a pan that's on fire, and you especially don't want to put water on it.
Julia escaped without a scratch. When asked for the Ankrams' home, the flames hit the drapes, catching them on fire, and smoke filled the house. In the end, the damage totaled $200,000. To demonstrate just how dangerous a cooking fire can be, we enlisted the help of the Overland Park Fire Department.
This should work.
In a test kitchen at the Fire Training Center,
That one's rolling.
we set up 8 cameras, 5 inside and 3 outside. Firefighters set a pot of grease on the stove and heated it up. Within about 8 minutes, we had our fire.
Anybody clear?
This is where so many homeowners make that crucial split-second mistake, trying to move a burning pot to the sink and pouring water on the flames. Because of the level of danger, our firefighter extended a pole with only a cup of water through a window.
3, 2, 1, go.
An unbelievable fireball erupts from the pot. It roars up the ceiling and then all the way across to the other end of the room. Water proving to be the absolute worst thing you can throw on a cooking fire.
Well, it instantly turns to steam. So what you end up with is something like an explosion.
So what should you do to prevent an explosion of fire in your kitchen? Our expert says, first of all, never move the fire.
What happens when you move it off the stove?
Well, you run the risk of dropping it. Fire likes air. When you move a pan, you give that fire more air. It can come back at you.
In most cases, a fire can be extinguished right on the stove by using a lid.
You're just going to take your lid, touch the edge of the pan, slide the lid across, and then turn off the heat. It's important that you do turn off the heat.
And never lift that lid until the pan cools. Fresh air allows the flames to reignite. Another option for a broader coverage, grab a cookie sheet or a pizza pan. For even added safety, fire experts recommend installing these stovetop fire stops. These tiny cans cover 2 burners apiece. They hang magnetically from your hood vent.
All right, fire is lit.
We put these to the test next after starting a second grease fire. As the flames jump and reach the can, they ignite the tiny red fuse on the bottom. The can pops open, dropping a powdered chemical to snuff out the fire.
It's just like a mini fire extinguisher, only it works by itself.
The fire department told me I could have gotten hurt. I was lucky I didn't get hurt.
And that's rare. In 3 of every 5 kitchen fires where someone is hurt, those injuries are the result of the victim trying to fight the fire themselves. These days, Julia plays it safe when she cooks.
I have a cookie sheet right here, ready to smother the fire out.
Because she never wants to see this again.
Now that we are cooking at home more, we are using our microwaves more than ever. But even though they're convenient and easy to use, we still have to remember how to use them safely. So remind yourselves and grown-ups that metals and microwaves do not mix. Never ever use metal utensils or containers in a microwave, as metal can easily cause sparks, starting a fire that can quickly spread to the rest of your kitchen. So be sure to use only microwave-safe containers to prevent a kitchen fire. For us kids, the most common microwave injury is scalds and burns, so we have to be very careful when removing hot dishes from the microwave and, yes, even when opening our yummy popcorn bags. Microwaves are generally placed up high in our kitchens, and reaching up for the heated bowl of soup or cup of tea can be a balancing act for some of us. So, prevent scalds and burns by asking a grown-up for help, and remind them to use a pot holder to avoid getting burned as well. The kitchen is one of the most common places for scalds, burns, and fires. So, let's practice safe cooking and take precautions in our kitchens and serve up fire safety today.
Well, the holiday means lots of cooking, and for fire departments, that also means a lot of calls related to that as well, especially if you don't know what you're doing with a deep fryer. Prince George's County Fire and EMS is offering advice in hopes of preventing kitchen fires. Our Alexis Wainwright shows us what you can do to be prepared and just how quickly flames can spread.
Fire crews say that cooking is a leading cause to house fires. And with Thanksgiving, they often see a lot more people in the kitchen cooking more than normal or getting distracted easily while in the kitchen. District Heights Fire Station 826 is busy.
The holidays specifically, our call volume tends to increase.
But they expect things to get even busier come Thanksgiving.
Probably at least one a day in the county is some sort of a cooking related incident, one of our alarms. As we get into the holiday season tomorrow, I could see that expanding tenfold at least.
Unattended cooking is the #1 cause of fires, everything from food on stovetops, in ovens, and in those deep fryers. So we decided to go over the way to prevent these fires from happening. When it comes to frying a turkey,
Not in the kitchen, not in the garage, not on the back deck where it's wood or something that could, if it were to catch on fire, could catch your home on fire as well. But at a safe distance, 25, 30 feet away from the home.
Thanksgiving 2023, this home quickly caught fire after a turkey fryer was used on a deck of an Oxon Hill house. You also need to make sure your turkey is fully thawed and dried off before putting it into the oil. Speaking of oil, it should be no higher than the very top of the turkey. Don't overfill.
Often people make the mistake of adding an excessive amount of oil, not accounting for the volume of the turkey. They add the turkey to the fryer, the oil overflows, and catches on fire.
Next, having a plan of how you'll react should there be a fire. Have a fire extinguisher in the kitchen and know how to use it properly.
At least an arm's distance away, if not two. If you get too close to it, the propellant coming out of the extinguisher can actually splatter the grease and spread the fire. Another option in the kitchen, especially if you don't have a fire extinguisher, if it were a pot or a pan that you have a lid on, you can simply slide the lid over quickly and let it suffocate the flames.
Battalion Chief Eric Reith says another safety tool, small fire blankets. They're easier to use and you can drape them over a flaming pot and suffocate the flames. Lastly,
but remember to be safe. And if you need the fire department, if you need EMS, we're just one call away.
Alexis Wainwright, WUSA 9.
Electrical fires pose a significant risk, with approximately 24,000 reported incidents annually in the United States, as highlighted by the U.S. Fire Administration. Residential settings are particularly vulnerable, with 6.3% of all residential fires attributed to electrical issues between 2014 and 2016. Key facts from the USFA Electrical Fires Report. Residential building electrical fires occurred most often in 1- and 2-family dwellings, 83%. Residential building electrical fires occurred most often in January, 12%, attributed to increased heating and lighting usage. Although most start in bedrooms, the highest fatalities result from fires in living rooms, family rooms, and dens. Common ignition sources include electrical wire insulation and structural elements, with factors like malfunction and short-circuit arcs contributing significantly. Here are the top 5 culprits. 1. Faulty outlets and appliances. A significant portion of electrical fires originates from outdated appliances and faulty outlets. Damaged cords, receptacles, and switches can escalate risks, especially when used with combustible materials. Avoid using appliances with worn cords or frayed cables that can transfer heat to flammable surfaces. 2. Light fixtures. Exceeding recommended bulb wattage, putting flammable material like cloth or paper over a lampshade, and faulty fixtures also pose significant risks. Ensure bulbs match fixture wattage recommendations to prevent overheating. 3. Extension cords. Misuse of extension cords, such as prolonged use or overloading, can lead to fires. Appliances should be directly plugged into outlets whenever possible. Minimize the use of extension cords, especially for prolonged periods. Hire an electrician to install additional outlets if needed. 4. Space heaters. Placing space heaters too close to flammable surfaces or materials, such as curtains or furniture, increases the likelihood of ignition. Keep portable heaters, especially coil heaters, away from combustible surfaces. 5. Outdated wiring. Homes with aging wiring systems are at risk, especially with modern electricity demands. Worn connectors and outdated breaker boxes can lead to overloads and subsequent fires. Upgrade wiring systems and breaker boxes in homes over 20 years old to handle modern electrical demands.
Electrical fires can occur for several reasons, but some of the most common causes include faulty wiring, overloaded circuits, and malfunctioning appliances. These are things we encounter every day, which makes them even more hazardous if not addressed properly. Faulty wiring is the #1 cause of electrical fire. Over time, the insulation around electrical wires can wear down, especially in older homes. This exposes the wires and increases the risk of sparks and short circuits, major culprits behind electrical fires. It's a good idea to inspect your wiring once in a while. Look out for flickering lights, a burning smell near outlets, or scorch marks. These are all red flags. Next, let's talk about overloaded circuits. We're all guilty of plugging in too many devices into one outlet. But when you overload a circuit, it can overheat and potentially ignite a fire. To prevent this, use power strips with surge protectors and avoid daisy chaining multiple strips together. And if you notice your circuit breaker tripping frequently, it's time to call in a professional. Let's not forget about malfunctioning appliances. Whether it's a toaster, heater, or even a washing machine, any electrical appliance can pose a risk if it's not functioning correctly. Always check the cords and plugs of your appliances. If they're frayed or damaged, replace them immediately. And remember to unplug appliances when they're not in use to avoid any accidental sparks. Safety fact: did you know that failure to clean was the main cause of clothes dryer fires in homes from 2018 to 2020, causing 31% of these incidents? Yes, lint buildup can cause the dryer to overheat, leading to a dangerous fire hazard. This statistic highlights the importance of regular appliance maintenance to prevent electrical fires. Now that we've covered the common causes of electrical fires and how to prevent them, here are a few more tips to keep your home safe. Never use an extension cord with a major appliance. The extension cord can overheat and start a fire. Use light bulbs that match the recommended wattage on the lamp or fixture. Keep flammable materials away from any electrical sources. Install smoke detectors near your electrical panels and outlets. Insert plugs fully into sockets. Never force a 3-prong cord into a 2-slot outlet. Avoid putting cords where they can be damaged or pinched, like under a carpet or rug. By following these simple steps, you can significantly reduce the risk of an electrical fire. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more safety tips. See you in the next one.
In today's Toolbox Talk, we're covering electrical fire prevention and response, an essential topic that could save lives and property. Electrical fires have unique characteristics and dangers. They start when electrical equipment overheats, when there's faulty wiring or when circuits get overloaded. The key signs are unusual odors like burning plastic, discolored outlets, or flickering lights. Prevention is our first line of defense. Always inspect equipment before use, looking for frayed cords, damaged insulation, or loose connections. Never overload circuits or daisy-chain power strips. Keep electrical panels clear with a 3-foot clearance zone and ensure proper ventilation around equipment. If you discover an electrical fire, remember, safety first. Never use water on an electrical fire. It conducts electricity and can electrocute you. Instead, follow these steps. First, disconnect power if it's safe to do so. Alert others and call 911 immediately. Only attempt to fight small fires if you're trained and have the right equipment. Use a Class C fire extinguisher, which is specifically rated for electrical fires. For larger fires, evacuate immediately. Close doors behind you to contain the fire, but don't waste time collecting belongings. Meet at your designated assembly point and wait for emergency services. After any electrical fire incident, no matter how small, report it immediately to your supervisor. The affected area must be thoroughly inspected by qualified personnel before work can resume. Remember, team, prevention through regular inspection and maintenance is our best defense. But if a fire occurs, prioritize life safety over property. Stay safe out.
Smoking is a leading cause of fire death in the U.S. A careless discarded cigarette can smolder for hours before igniting into an inferno.
3 members of a family gone when flames ripped through their house. Well, this afternoon, Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer walked us through, telling us it was a cigarette not properly put out that started the fire.
This summer, Spokane saw a tragic fire caused by a discarded cigarette. In the surveillance video, you can see smoke coming from a couch on a porch that was used for smoking. The discarded cigarette ignited a couch and quickly spread to the house. 3 residents of the house couldn't make it out in time and died. Sadly, fires like these are easily prevented. Hello, I'm Lieutenant John Goodman. I'm a fire investigator with the City of Spokane Fire Department. Every year in Spokane, we see fires caused by discarded smoking material. These fires often involve the ignition of mattresses, bedding, upholstered furniture, or trash by improperly discarded cigarette ashes or matches. Understanding what makes smoking fires so dangerous and what you can do to help prevent them can help you keep your home and your family safe. If you or somebody you live with smokes, please follow these simple safety tips. If you choose to smoke, smoke outside. Keep cigarettes and ashes out of planted pots and patio planters. We have seen a number of fires in Spokane caused by someone disposing of a cigarette in a flower pot on a deck or patio. Potting soil is made up of dried organic material and will burn if the conditions are right. Make sure to extinguish cigarettes in an approved container like a deep, sturdy ashtray. Whatever approved device you use, keep it away from anything that can burn. I would suggest metal cans with sand in them. Never smoke in bed or while in medical oxygen. Medical oxygen can cause materials to ignite more easily and make fires burn faster. Be alert to prevent a smoking-related fire. Alcohol and some medications can make you drowsy. Take extra precautions when necessary.
In a California electronics store, 1 minute a customer is in a back room picking out a TV. The next, his pocket explodes into sparks and flames.
Just because you vape doesn't mean you are fire safe. While not common, explosions and fires from failure of e-cigarettes like the one in this video can occur. Don't charge your e-cigarettes with a phone or tablet charger. Don't charge your e-cigarette overnight. Protect your e-cigarettes from extreme temperatures. Store loose batteries for your e-cigarettes in a case. Keep e-cigarettes away from metal objects. Always have a working smoke alarm inside every bedroom and outside sleeping areas, and make sure you and your family have a fire escape plan. Remember, fire is everyone's fight.
But we're learning more teens are getting burned by vape pens and e-cigarettes.
And tonight we show you how and why, but a warning, some of these images are disturbing. Kids may think vaping looks cool, but take a look at these images of kids who've gotten burned.
Between the years of 2015 and 2017, there were over 2,000 exploding e-cigarette and vape devices that cause burn injuries in our country.
And the Clark Burn Center is seeing it too.
We are starting to see more frequency in these, like 3 to 4 a month.
That's in a 38-county region.
And we really want to get ahead of it to see if we can prevent these injuries from happening because burns are lifelong.
Hands, thighs, hips are getting injured.
Anywhere where they might be carried close to the body. And these injuries, because of the intensity of the explosions and the heat from the flame, they're typically third-degree burn injuries.
Serious stuff requiring hospitalization, grafting, or many surgeries. And it happens so fast.
Thermal runaway starts, you have tenths of a second before a burn injury can occur.
Parents, pay attention. Educate your kids.
They really shouldn't be vaping at all because of the health and burn injury risks.
And let them know what can happen if they do.
They should not be using any that have drop damage, any damage to the batteries. They should not be using off-brand chargers or inexpensive, cheap chargers to charge these devices because of the risk of house fire from the devices starting if they were hidden somewhere in a bedroom, for example.
Plenty of examples why vaping is not a safe option for your teens. And because e-cigarettes can be a fire hazard, the Clark Burn Center says schools need to be on the lookout too.